would you like to make a brief opening remark before we get started?
Sure. Thank you, Sarah and Gail, and all of you for organizing this. I think this is a good opportunity to, have some dialogue, have some conversation about an area of municipal government that is one of the most critical functions that we perform, educating our children. So this is important topic, a priority for the city. I know I've seen Ann Ferguson is here, City Council President. She's a partner in all the efforts that we've done together over the number of years that we've all served in office. To begin with, just sort of some context. One, I like all of you here, I'm a resident, I'm a homeowner. I have a child in the school system. And so I understand the balance and the challenge and the effort that we all put into both trying to maximize the opportunity for our children to make them ready for a 21st century economy, not just a local economy, but a world economy. That's all our common goal to do that. But also the tough choices that we all have to go through and to balance out that with all the other competing needs as a community. So I get it in the sense of I'm a homeowner. My tax bill, I think, is around $7,200. It went up this year. And so I understand that part of the efforts that we all work on to control costs, control spending while we're delivering the services. But also having a young child in the elementary school who has many years ahead of them in the school system, trying to maximize the effort so that he has, just like all your children, the best opportunity in his life and his and her lives and your children's sake going forward. So that's what we grapple with, that's what we deal with. As we go through the questions and answers, I'm going to guess that one, not all the answers would be what you're hoping for. Again, as we grapple with balance and those challenges, may not even have all the answers because these are not simple questions to simple issues. They're very complex. There are a lot of variables that we deal with here locally, but there are a lot of variables that are imposed on us that we don't necessarily have full control over. But our effort collectively, the school committee, the city council, the community at large, is to do the best we can and to maximize what we have in that effort. So again, thank you very much for doing this. And if the questions run beyond 8 o'clock, I'm happy to stay here till all the questions are asked.
Okay. So on to the questions. One result of last year's budget process was increased class size at all levels. What is your plan for reducing class sizes across the district?
So let me start with, again, providing some context of the challenge as we deal with class sizes. We deal with many other issues, both within the school system itself and the community at large. For one, we look at what we just went through in regard to the national economy, the economic collapse that we got hit with. Over the last many years in which, there's an impact on all of you, but there's also a significant impact on the revenue sources for us as a city. In fact, 4 or 5 years ago, I forget the time frames now, but the state had cut local aid by $2 million for the school budget. But that cut was covered by, if you all recall, the federal stimulus money or ARA money that plugged that hole for 2 years. And then at the end of that 2 years, the theory was, after a couple of years, the economy starts coming back, that money goes away, and we all just move on and everything's good. The reality was, the economy did not come back as quickly as everyone had hoped. So at the end of that 2 year period, we got hit with what actually was a $1.9 million hit on the bottom line of the school budget. And so the challenge for us was, how do we fill that $1.9 million hole when we really had about $900,000 to fill it? And that was the challenge. So there were a lot of impacts on the school system. A lot of, during that period of just hunker down and hold on to what we could as far as the core academic programs that we have. We had to shed a number of things in order to hold it together until the economy starts coming back. And the economy is coming back, but municipal revenues lag behind the economy. So our effort, our plan has been that as the economy comes back and our revenues come back, to restore all those programs that were cut and challenges that haven't. In addition to all of that, we are seeing increases in enrollment. The number of kids coming into the system is growing. And so that's putting pressure on class sizes in those programs. Also, we're seeing a lot more demand on our special ed programs. So that's in the increase in special ed and the increase in mandates on how we handle those. All those things are putting pressure or are competing for the same dollars. And so what we end up having to do is make very tough choices, try to find balance where we can't fix all things at once, and we can't get away with fixing one problem and ignoring others within the system. So what we do is methodically rebuild the programs, manage the class sizes as best we can. There's an ideal range, and there's, according to the educators I talk to, there is a top limit where they say that's too many. We are up in a range that's not up at the point where the educators are saying too many, but it's up at an area that we don't want to be in class sizes. Frankly, it's all classes, not just one school or one grade. It's gone up in all the classes, and it's going up at every school system in the area. It's a global challenge. So the way one of the ways we deal with this is manage our costs, trying to drive down costs in other areas of our operations so that we can provide more staff, more teachers. I mean, the short answer is you need more people in the classroom. People cost money, so how do you get those funds? And so it's being more efficient, cost savings. The fact that 2 years ago we negotiated new healthcare plans for the employees, and the teachers were in the lead of negotiating those and agreeing to those, saved the school system $550,000. So that's $550,000 that we're no longer sending as a check to the insurance company, we're reinvesting it locally. So it's by doing those efforts that we can bring on additional staff that are needed to manage the class sizes and to manage those. But at the same time, dealing with the competition for those same dollars for special ed programs and other things that we need. So it's part of our plan as we improve, as the economy improves, as our revenues improve, to manage that with the other things and eventually get back down to that desired range that we all want.